Hi there. I'm Kevin Chambers, the creator of RideSheet, and in this video, I want to talk about how to recover from mistakes when using RideSheet. So one of the goals of RideSheet is at the end of the day, you have really high quality data and data that you can use for all your operations, data you can trust when you're doing your reporting at the end of the month. Now, we're wanting to achieve those goals in a spreadsheet environment, and spreadsheets are known for being extremely flexible tools where you could really enter anything anywhere without any limits. So, how do we get the data quality we want in a tool that is so flexible? Well, we've got a few different ways to handle that. Let's get into it. So, one of them is data validation. So, data validation is something that is built into Google Sheets and other spreadsheet tools. You can find it here on the data menu down right here. You can set up a data validation configuration for any cell or group of cells you want. This whole column is set to be a date. So any value in here that's not a date will get rejected. So if I do that right here, you'll see we get a pop-up that says there was a problem. The value must be a date. I hit OK, and you'll see it's already gone. It rejected that input and set the value back to what it was originally. So that works for dates, it works for numbers, it works for times, and it works for dropdowns. So we use dropdowns a lot in RideSheet to constrain the range of values down to a particular list. So here we've got a customer list. If I try to go in here and just put in a value that's not in the list, I get a similar message that says, no, you can't do that. You hit OK, and already it's cleared out. So that's data validation. We use that a lot. Another thing that we do in RideSheet is we handle the values in the first row in a particular way. So the values in the first row are very important to RideSheet. It's how RideSheet knows where data is, where to put it, where to find it. Here we have the trip date. So now if I go in and change this, it will break a lot of things in RideSheet because RideSheet won't know where to find the trip date column. That is obviously a problem. So let me go in and do this and just change it, and you'll see what happens. So we've set up some code so that if you enter a value into the first row, that's not what RideSheet is expecting, not what's configured, then it will just revert the value back to what it ought to be. So this is a bit of self-healing, I call it, and that just really helps keep RideSheet running in an environment where it's just really easy to fat finger a cell and put a value in and not even realize you did it. So that's another thing we do to manage the possibility for entering bad data, particularly in the first row. Now, I want to show you another thing here, which is sometimes it's possible, even with these data validation tools, to enter something you really didn't want to enter. So let's say we've got an early cancel value here, and somebody just by accident sets it to something it shouldn't be. Well, it's possible to go back and see what the previous value was and see how that value got changed. And that's through the edit history. So I'm just right clicking on this cell. There's a context menu item here called show edit history. I'm going to select that and I can see who made that change. And it's me, my test user here, what the previous value was. And I can go back through previous values at different times. So that's very handy, not only for finding out what the value ought to be, but also for identifying when and how that error happened and tracing it back. The last thing is sort of a grander version of this cell by cell version, which is all of a Google Sheet document is being tracked in terms of its version history. So that's all available here from the file menu. You could see that there's this menu item, version history, and you can go back and see the entire version history going back hours, days, weeks, even months. And it's possible to go back and reclaim data that has been lost or corrupted long after it happened. Let me just show you an example of this. So I'm going to take these 3 records here and just delete them. Okay, that's gone. let's say the next day, I realize that I made that mistake and I need to go back and get that data. So it's pretty easy to do. You can go back to the version history. It provides an interface here. Here on the right side, you can see what it looked like as of any particular version. So I'm going to click this show unmodified rows so we can see fully what it looked like at any point in time. And here we've got our 4 rows as it is now, but I can go back through the version history, and here we can see what it looked like as of just a few minutes ago. And now that I've got this version, I can restore it. I can make this the version that we're working with now. But if this happened a while back, there's a whole bunch of other changes that have happened, and I don't want to necessarily lose all those changes. So one option I have at my disposal for this version, if this is the version I want, now this has the data that I lost, is I can go in and I can make a copy of this version. And with that copy, just do a copy and paste of the data that I need to keep, and then reinsert that into the live version of RideSheet. So this has been very useful for users of RideSheet over the years. We've always been able to go back and reclaim data that got temporarily lost because of mistakes. And it's a big win for users, and it's really just built into Google Sheets, right? We're just benefiting from this fantastic feature, which is just part of the platform. So that's everything I wanted to show you about how you can recover from mistakes in RideSheet. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.